you're after a cheap gun. Airsoft gun, you want a cheap gun. Oh, something you don't want G&G, you don't want ICS. Oh, that's quite a tricky question really. A cheap airsoft gun, a starter gun that's not a G&G and not an ICS, but still is quite good. I think I've got something just for you. This is the Valken M4 Battlerifle. Possibly, just possibly could be the best cheap starter's airsoft gun. And this is CraftySniper reviewing it. All you have to do Hello and welcome to the latest CraftySniper's airsoft videos. As you see in the introduction and you see before you, I have an M4. Now, well, let's not get too hasty here. I know there is a multitude of airsoft companies out there that make the M4. And we have cheap ones, we have mediocre ones, and we have stonkingly awesome Tokyo Marui ones. But if you're in the market for a cheap starter M4 or starter airsoft gun, maybe you're new to airsoft completely and you're looking for your first product to buy, this just could be the one you really want to start looking for. Now, I'll be honest, I have never heard what a Valken is before in my life. I know what a Vulcan is, and this certainly isn't that. But Valken M4, the hell is it? Well, I think it's an American company, I could be wrong on this, but they released their M4 and what they quoted the Battlerifle, which I always thought was an M14, but carry on. And this is their starter range. This is the first gun you pick up in their range of M4s. And to be honest with you, it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. Starting off on the external qualities of this gun, starting off at the rear, the stock. It's a very stylish, funky looking stock. It's very different looking. You don't get the the G&G starter range, the combat machine range guns used to have folding stocks that looked quite naff, shall we say. They worked, you know, you could shoulder them, but you knew they were cheap. If you went up the range, you got better stocks. This one, like I say, looks a bit different, fully functional. It is a sliding stock, and that is sliding all the way to the #1 position, and you can set it to multiple positions along. It's a 3-position stock, I've just figured that one out. To change the stock's position, you have the little latch here, lifting it up, allowing you to move the stock. When it's in its locked position, very easy to shoulder this weapon. It's also a very fat stock. Now, you may laugh at that statement, but it is quite a large stock, quite a thick stock, and that's because that's where the battery goes. So you have rather large sides to this stock, and they are just slightly, you got a bit of grip on here. It's only plastic grip, but it is a bit rough. The rest of the stock is quite smooth. These bits here are actually quite rough. So when you shoulder this weapon, you can get your cheek rest right onto this stock, and it's a very, very comfortable position to hold. So yeah, stock, very, very good. Like I say, holds the battery. How do you get into the battery? Well, you just pop off the rear cover here like any other battery stock you get in airsoft, and you can fit in here most nunchuck style batteries. This particular gun has at the moment a 7.4 LiPo inside it. It's a low rating LiPo, but it'll run quite happily on that. It will run, it's designed to run on nunchuck batteries, so you have the 2 style batteries with the one single small type Tamiya connector, which is in the rear of this gun. You wouldn't be able to get a large type battery in here, but you know, you can get all different sizes of batteries that will fit in this gun. So yeah, stock goes in there, batteries go into the stock, slides up and down the buffer tube, self-explanatory. Moving ahead, we have the buffer tube itself. This is a metal piece. I have to just keep looking over there because there's a firefight going on right next to me. This is a metal buffer tube, very, very good quality, absolutely rock solid. Moving on to the receivers, we'll start at the low end. You have the pistol grip. Now the pistol grip is plastic. It has got, again, a grip pattern on it. Very, very comfortable. It's actually quite a large pistol grip. Not so large that people with small hands are going to struggle, but it is quite different, shall we say. I think it's Valken's take on the M4 pistol grip. Moving up to the lower receiver, we have a plastic lower receiver. Now don't knock this, okay, we'd love to get a metal receiver, it's obviously better quality, but this is plastic and this is a starter gun, so you're going to be cutting your cost down, so that's why this is a plastic receiver. Very, very good quality. Markings on it, you have a lovely warning logo saying probably don't shoot people. On the other side we have Valken Tactical, which is on the side here, which is obviously the manufacturer of this weapon. You also have a serial number on there, not sure if that's unique. It could be actually, because it's printed onto the gun. But yeah, so you get those markings on there. Obviously you get your fire mode selector switch like any other M4, which is right here. It's only on the left side of the gun. And you have safe, semi and full auto. One of the downsides, I think, of this gun, it's very easy to move this selector switch. Could wear down, could become quite easier to move. Say for instance you want to put it into semi-auto and accidentally slips into full auto. At the moment it's alright, it's passable, but I can see, you can hear the clicks, I don't know whether you can, but it's not bad. For a starter gun, like I say, it's not bad. Moving on to the charging handle, which is obviously at the rear of the gun. Pulling it back, like every other M4, exposes the hop dial, which is pretty much just here, and is like any other M4 hop dial. It is a rotary design, and all you have to do, hold the charging handle back to expose it, and you just move this with your finger. I don't know whether the camera's going to see this, but yeah, there's a hop wheel there. Just move this, don't know which way it is, forgive me on that one, but whichever way it is, put hops up, and the opposite will take the hop away. Letting the charging handle slide forward, you can put the dust cover back up again, but hey ho. Moving on to the funky part of this rifle, the front handguard. This is completely and utterly different. It is a... It's got a normal RIS rail across the top, the 20mm standard rail, so you can put any of your optics and sights and all the rest of it on it. You also have a lower rail portion here, exactly the same. Again, it's all plastic, but very thick plastic, very good quality plastic, doesn't give. There's no, you know, there is a slight bit of give in this, but really, you're never going to notice this. This is for a young player, they ain't going to notice it at all. You also have this funky pattern along the side here, and this is for mounting extra stuff. So you can put extra Picatinny rails on the side here. I do believe this formation of holes here is called a key mod, so you can have key mod accessories added to this gun. Some accessories, such as torches and their likes, can be connected straight to this gun. However, some of them you have to get a Picatinny section of rail, and then you can bolt that to the side of the gun and then put your accessory on the end of it. So yeah, you've got plenty of space here to do whatever you want, whatever accessory you want on this gun. Moving right to the front, we have the traditional style M4 flash hider. This is also plastic, just figured that one out. It has a sort of serrated mouth, I think you can call this, at the front of the gun. I think the basis behind this is when in real steel army life you have an M4 rifle and you want to get over barbed wire, you push the rifle into the barbed wire, pushing it down, and the front end will grip and sometimes will actually cut the barbed wire. Obviously in airsoft we don't come across this stuff, but it's nice to see that the Valkens have actually... Valkens, we're a starter right now, aren't we? But Valken Airsoft have actually decided to put this funky section into the front end of the gun. Now, out of the package, you do get some sights with this gun. You have fold-up sights. These are not clickable ones. You don't just press a button, they flick up. Remember, this is a cheap gun. But you have funky-looking rear iron sight, which I do believe is adjustable. Yes, it is adjustable. You can adjustable for windage and all the rest of it. And you have a front sight, which I don't believe, by the way I'm looking at this, is adjustable. But if you lay these down, you actually have, well, you can see these here, certain green part of the sight. I'm not sure whether these are fluorescent or anything, so if you're in the pitch black, whether you can actually see these. Remember, cheap gun, this is what we're doing here. But it's nice to see that they put them on there. You can remove these. Just a simple Allen bolt here, unbolt it, and you can take off the sights. You can put, like I say, any sight you want on this rail system. So what else do you get out your box when you buy your Valken M4? High caps. You get one of them, It's always a good start. It is a 350 round traditional M4 style. It's got a bit of a pattern on it. Has the word Valken just at the bottom of my finger, and it is exactly the same as any other high cap. You have a trapdoor at the front here, or the top here, which you can pull back to load BBs into. Obviously the BBs will come out of here, and then you have the winding wheel just here where you can wind up your high cap magazine. So what do I think? What does CraftySniper think about this? It's not really my style, if I'm honest. That is purely because I've been airsoft for 5 years now. I've moved on from starter guns, obviously. I've got Tokyo Marui, high cycle, recoil guns even, and I absolutely love them. What I do like about this is the fact that it is well priced. You're looking at £160 to purchase this rifle and a high cap magazine. For a starter in airsoft, or a new starter even in airsoft, this is perfect. Takes .2s. The hop system will pick up .25s, .28s, but if you're looking for a sub £200 gun to get you out there on the airsoft field, this is probably one of the new guns that you want to have a look at. G&G were good, well, G&G were brilliant, ICS were good. This, I think, traditionally is better. Another thing I like about this, it weighs something. Now, people tend to think, oh, it's a heavy gun, it's gonna, you know, it's too heavy. This is good. This is a cheap gun that weighs quite a bit. So you feel like it's not that cheap. So, on retrospect, this is probably a very, very good gun for the new starter. Or someone who's looking for that M4 that's a little bit different than the other M4s out there in the airsoft universe. Now, that comprises the video review of the Valken M4. Traditionally, that would have been the end of the video. However, a little bit different. I'm going to treat you guys now. I'm going to treat you guys to just how bad my shooting is. So join me in part 2 when I get to shoot this thing.